The Senate hall is quiet. Palpatine's words still hang in the air, smooth, patient, certain. "Only through me can you save her." Anakin's hands are trembling. Not from fear, from the weight of everything he loves pressing down on him at once. He closes his eyes for just a moment, and the Force answers. It doesn't come gently. It hits like a shockwave. Anakin sees fire. He sees a planet that is nothing but rivers of lava and black ash. He sees himself armored, masked, breathing in mechanical rhythm, standing over a body. Her body, Padme, not saved, not alive, gone. The very future Palpatine promised him is the future that kills her. Anakin staggers. His breath catches. The vision pulls him deeper. Clone troopers gunning down Jedi in temple corridors. Children cut down before they can run. A galaxy draped in imperial banners. And Palpatine, laughing on a throne, built from the wreckage of everything Anakin was sworn to protect. This is the promised power. This is the price. Anakin opens his eyes. Still waiting. Still completely unaware that the trap he spent decades building has just sprung the wrong way. Anakin straightens. His jaw tightens. And for the first time in months, the fear is gone. What replaces it is far more dangerous. Clarity. Anakin Skywalker now knows exactly who Palpatine is, what he has done, what he planned to make Anakin become. The question burning through his mind now isn't whether to stop him. It's how and whether anyone will believe him in time. The vision doesn't release him. Not yet. Anakin is still standing in the Senate hall. Palpatine is still watching. But inside his mind, inside whatever the Force is showing him, he is somewhere else entirely. He is on a planet that should not exist. Black ground, orange sky. Rivers of fire cutting through the landscape like open wounds. The heat is unbearable. The air tastes like ash and burning metal. Mustafar. He doesn't know the name, but somehow he knows the place. The Force has brought him here for a reason. And then he sees himself. Not the Anakin standing in the Senate hall, uncertain, grieving, desperate. This version is different. This version moves like something that has already decided the galaxy doesn't matter. Dark robes, red blade, eyes that catch the firelight and hold no warmth at all. Anakin watches himself cut down unarmed people without hesitation. Watches himself kneel before Palpatine on that black ground, not as a prisoner, as a choice. Then the duel. He sees Obi-Wan, his brother, his teacher, standing across from him with grief written into every line of his face. Not anger, not hatred, just unbearable sorrow. "You were the chosen one." The words land like a physical blow. Anakin feels his future self lose that fight. Feels the lava, feels the burning, feels the moment a man ends and something mechanical and hollow begins. The mask descends. That mechanical breath, slow, cold, endless, fills the vision like a death knell. Anakin tears himself back to the present. His chest is heaving. His eyes are wet. Palpatine hasn't moved, still smiling, still patient, still utterly convinced he has already won. He hasn't. Because Anakin just watched himself become Darth Vader, and he would rather die on his feet than live one single breath inside that mask. The fear of losing Padme, the fear that drove every desperate, reckless decision for months, shifts into something new, something harder, something that doesn't bend. Anakin Skywalker looks at Palpatine, really looks, and the Chancellor finally sees something in those eyes he did not plan for. A man who is no longer afraid. He finds her on the veranda. The Coruscant skyline stretches behind her, thousands of lights, thousands of lives, completely unaware of how close everything came to ending tonight. Padme turns when she hears him. One look at his face, and she knows. Something has changed. Something fundamental. Something that cannot be taken back. Anakin, what happened? He doesn't soften it. He doesn't build up to it slowly. He has spent too long protecting her from the truth, and that protection almost destroyed them both. He tells her everything. Palpatine, the Sith, the promise that her life could be saved through the dark side. The vision the Force burned into him, the lava planet. The mask, the version of himself that knelt willingly at a monster's feet. And then the hardest part. He tells her what the vision showed him about her. That in the future, he nearly chose she doesn't survive. Not because of illness, not because of fate, but because the dark side doesn't save the ones you love. It consumes them, it uses them, and then it lets them go. Padme is silent for a long moment. Her hand moves to her stomach, instinctive, protective. Their children, still safe, still unaware of how close the galaxy came to swallowing them whole before they ever drew their first breath. When she finally speaks, her voice is steady. Senators learn early how to keep their voice steady when everything inside them is breaking. How long has Palpatine been watching you? Not "are you okay?" Not "I can't believe this." Straight to the question that matters. Straight to the shape of the threat. Anakin almost smiles. Even now, even here. "Long enough," he says quietly. "Too long." Padme moves to him then. She takes his face in her hands and makes him look at her, really look the way she has always been able to cut through every wall he builds. Then, "We don't give him another hour," she says. "We end this, together." And just like that, the equation changes completely. This is no longer just a Jedi problem. It is no longer Anakin's burden to carry alone in the dark. Padme Amidala, Senator, leader, the most politically dangerous person on Coruscant, is now fully in the fight. Palpatine built his entire plan around Anakin's isolation, around keeping him frightened and alone, and convinced that no one else could help him. He never once accounted for her. That was his first mistake. But before Padme can reach out to her allies in the Senate, before any plan can take shape, Anakin stops her. Because there is one person who must be told first. One person whose reaction could either hold this plan together or shatter it before it begins. Obi-Wan Kenobi. They say the Empire died the moment Palpatine fell. But that's not quite true. It died slowly, like a wounded animal, thrashing, dangerous, and completely out of control. Grand Moffs turned on each other. Star Destroyers abandoned their posts. Entire sectors went dark overnight. The machine that had ruled the galaxy for over 2 decades began eating itself alive. And somewhere in the middle of all that chaos, Anakin Skywalker simply walked away. No announcement, no surrender, no dramatic last stand. He was there one moment, standing in the ruins of what had been Palpatine's throne room, and then he was gone. The Rebel Alliance didn't know what to do with that. Mon Mothma called emergency sessions. Generals argued through the night. Some wanted him captured immediately. Some wanted him tried for war crimes. And they weren't wrong to want that. The list of what Darth Vader had done was not short. Alderaan alone was enough. 2 billion people. Gone in seconds. Because he stood there and said nothing. And now the man responsible was loose somewhere in the galaxy. No fleet, no armor, no army at his back, but still one of the most dangerous beings alive. What do you do with that? What do you do with a man who helped destroy the Republic, slaughtered Jedi, crushed entire star systems under his boot, and then, at the very last second, chose to save his son? Does that one moment cancel out 20 years of horror? Most people said no. Luke Skywalker wasn't most people. He told the Alliance Council directly, calm, steady, the way only someone who had stared into Vader's mask and seen a father looking back could be calm. He came back. That matters. The room didn't agree, but they didn't stop him either. Meanwhile, Anakin had taken a battered, unmarked shuttle, no transponder, no nav coordinates, logged and pointed it toward the outer rim. He didn't choose a destination. He just flew, out past the core worlds, where people still whispered the Emperor's name like a prayer. Out past the mid-rim, where war had scorched entire generations into silence. Out to the edges of the galaxy where nobody cared who you used to be, because surviving tomorrow was already enough of a problem. He landed on a world with no name worth remembering. Dry air, red dust. 2 moons hanging low over a landscape that looked like it had never once been important to anyone. He sat outside the shuttle as the suns went down. No mask, no breathing apparatus, his lungs, reconstructed during his recovery, still rough and scarred but working. His mechanical hand rested in the dirt. He looked at it for a long time. This hand had held a lightsaber above helpless people. This hand had built an empire's fear, brick by brick, death by death. And this hand, trembling slightly now, in the cooling desert air, had pulled a dying emperor away from his son. He didn't sleep that night. He sat in the dark and let the memories come, because running from them, he was beginning to understand. had been the very first mistake. Padme's face, Obi-Wan turning away on Mustafar, Luke's voice in the darkness of the Death Star. "Father, I know there is good in you." He had not believed it then. He was not sure he believed it now. But something had shifted. Something deep and fractured and stubborn. The part of him that had once been a boy from Tatooine who just wanted to help people was still there. Buried, damaged, barely breathing, but there. He would not seek forgiveness. He had no right to ask for it. But somewhere in the quiet of that nameless world, Anakin Skywalker made a decision. Not loud, not dramatic, just a quiet, stubborn choice. He would not run from who he had been, and he would not become that person again. What that meant, what a man like him could possibly do to make any of it mean something, he didn't know yet. But 3 days later, a coded signal reached his shuttle. Faint, encrypted in old Jedi cipher, a language he had not heard in over 2 decades. Someone knew where he was, and they were asking him to come. The question was not whether he could trust them. The question, the one that sat heavy in his chest as he stared at the blinking signal, was whether they should trust him. Long pause. He reached for the controls. The Jedi had suspected it for years. A Sith Lord, patient, powerful, and completely hidden, was operating somewhere close to the heart of the Republic. Not on the fringes, not in some distant corner of the Outer Rim. Close. But suspicion is not proof. And in the Senate, where politics moved like quicksand and accusations without evidence could destroy a man's reputation, overnight suspicion was worth almost nothing. So the council watched, and waited, and said nothing publicly. That changed on a quiet morning in the Jedi Temple. Master Mace Windu entered the council chamber without his usual composure. Those who knew him, really knew him, recognized the look immediately. Not alarm. Mace Windu didn't alarm easily. Something worse. Certainty. He placed a single encrypted data rod on the central table. No introduction, no lengthy explanation. "It's Palpatine," he said. The room went completely still. Not the quiet of disbelief. The quiet of 12 Jedi Masters simultaneously processing something that rearranged everything they thought they understood about the last 13 years. Every military vote, every emergency power granted, every carefully steered Senate decision that had slowly, methodically, handed one man control of the entire Republic. It hadn't been political ambition. It had been architecture. Master Yoda closed his eyes. He did not speak for a long moment. When he did, his voice was low, and for the first time in many years, uncertain. "How long," he said quietly, "known this? How long have we not?" Nobody answered. Because the answer was uncomfortable. The signs had been there. Small things individually meaningless, collectively damning. A push here. A carefully worded suggestion there. A crisis that appeared at exactly the right moment to justify exactly the right emergency measure. The Jedi had been so focused on finding the Sith in the darkness. They never looked at the man standing directly in the light. The data rod contained intercepts, fragments of Sith communication pulled from a deep cover intelligence operation that had taken 3 years and 2 Jedi lives to complete. Voice patterns, encrypted orders, references to a master and apprentice that lined up precisely with Palpatine's movements and decisions going back over a decade. It wasn't a theory anymore. Master Ki-Adi-Mundi spoke first. "If we move against him openly, the Senate will call it a coup." "It will look like one," Master Shakti replied. "Because it will be one," Windu said flatly. "There is no clean way through this." And that was the problem. The real problem. Sitting in the center of the room like a thermal detonator nobody wanted to touch. Palpatine had not just taken power. He had built a situation where removing him looked indistinguishable from destroying the Republic he claimed to protect. The Senate trusted him. The public trusted him. The clone army answered to his office. And somewhere out there, Anakin Skywalker, the most powerful Force user alive, considered the Chancellor a personal friend. Yoda opened his eyes. "Act, we must. But carefully." Windu nodded once, slow, deliberate. He already knew what carefully meant. It meant going to Palpatine directly. It meant confronting a Sith Lord in his own office, with the full weight of the Jedi Order behind them and no guarantee of what walked back out. The vote inside that chamber was unanimous. But as the Masters filed out, each carrying the quiet gravity of what had just been decided, One question followed them all into the corridor. Did Palpatine already know they were coming? Because if he did, this wasn't a confrontation. It was a trap. It was Yoda who suggested it, and that more than anything told Mace Windu how serious this had become. Because Yoda never suggested the unpredictable option unless every predictable one had already failed. "Skywalker," the old master said quietly. "Bring him, we must." Windu didn't argue immediately, which was itself unusual. He stood at the council chamber window, looking out over Coruscant's endless skyline, and thought about it for exactly 4 seconds. Then he turned around. "If Palpatine gets to him first, even for 30 seconds, we lose him." "Yes," Yoda said simply. "This is why." They found Anakin in the training halls. He was running drills alone, aggressive, relentless, the kind of practice that wasn't really about technique. It was about burning something off. Windu recognized it immediately. He'd done the same thing himself, at 23, when the weight of what the Order asked of him first became real. Anakin stopped when he saw them. 3 masters, full council authority. No small talk. His eyes moved between them, reading the room the way only someone trained from childhood in a community of empaths could read a room. "What happened?" he said. Windu told him directly. No softening, no diplomatic framing. Just the facts, delivered clean and fast. The way you tell someone something that is going to hurt regardless of how carefully you package it. Palpatine was the Sith Lord. The man Anakin had trusted for over a decade. The man who had listened, advised, encouraged, who had quietly positioned himself as the one person in Anakin's life, with no agenda, was Darth Sidious. Anakin said nothing. His face didn't collapse. It didn't harden either. It did something more unsettling than both. It went completely still. The way water goes still just before something large moves underneath it. Windu watched him carefully. This was the moment. Right here. The next 30 seconds would tell him everything. Then Anakin exhaled. Slow. Controlled. And when he looked up, his eyes were clear. Not cold, not broken. Decided. "When do we go?" he said. They moved within the hour. 4 Jedi Masters, Windu, Fisto, Kolar, Teen, and one Knight, who shouldn't have been there by any conventional measure, but whose presence changed the weight of the entire operation. No clone escort, no Senate notification, no warning transmitted ahead. If Palpatine had informants inside the temple and after today, the assumption had to be that he did every additional minute was a minute he could use to prepare. They took an unmarked transport across the Coruscant skyline. Nobody spoke much. Anakin sat near the back, his mechanical hand resting on his knee, staring at nothing in particular. Windu sat across from him and studied the young man's face without pretending otherwise. He was looking for doubt, for hesitation, for any flicker of the conflict that would tell him this had been a mistake. He didn't find it. What he found was harder to read and in some ways, more concerning. Anakin looked like a man who had already made peace with something painful. Like someone who had quietly closed a door inside themselves and wasn't going back through it. That kind of calm, Windu knew, could mean clarity, or it could mean something had already broken. The Chancellor's office tower rose ahead of them through the transparisteel viewport, massive, perfectly lit, projecting exactly the authority Palpatine had spent decades carefully constructing. Windu stood. The others followed. Anakin was the last one up. He looked at the tower for a moment, and just for a second, something crossed his face. Not fear, not anger, grief. Then it was gone. And he walked forward with the rest of them. The doors to the Chancellor suite slid open without resistance. No guards moved to intercept, no alarms triggered, no security protocols engaged. The office was empty. Palpatine's chair sat facing the vast curved window, the same window where he had received them dozens of times before. Always warm, always welcoming, always perfectly in control of every detail in the room. The chair was turned away. Windu's hand moved to his lightsaber. And then slowly, deliberately, the chair began to turn. "I wondered," Palpatine said pleasantly, "which one of you would figure it out first." He looked directly at Anakin. "I must admit I did not expect you to be standing with them." Anakin said nothing, but his lightsaber was already in his hand.